Okay, I think the namaz break is
Yeah,
finished.
I think we need to start, resume the session.
Yeah, okay. We're not sure if everyone is there, so we'll start. So, all right, I will be sharing the slide for our Zoom breakout. So, not sure if you're familiar with the Zoom breakout rooms. So, Sir Mansoor will be dividing you into two groups and we will be having our discussion. So, I will be just sharing my slide. So, take a look into the, okay. So, the whole idea over here is to discuss something. Okay, so Sir Mansoor will be putting us into two Zoom breakout rooms. I'm a facilitator and Sir Mansoor is also a facilitator. We can come and try to monitor if you want in any of the rooms. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to discuss about planning. The question is planning and ERP implementation for HR. So in your Zoom breakout room, you have to discuss what steps to take when planning an ERP implementation is done. What steps to take when planning ERP implementation? For example, we are ready to have the ERP, but we need to implement it and we need to do that planning, how we need to bring the ERP and what are the challenges, what things we need to do. Um, in the group, you have to discuss those points and just they can be like 5 to 6 points, and you should have one group leader for your group who will be sharing it with us, because we will have only two people in the discussion session and one from each group to be sharing the points. So each participant must share at least 3 points and have one group leader to share the working. If there's any question about this, please ask now. Is everyone clear with the question and what we need to do in the Zoom breakout room? Okay, I think we are good to go, Sir Mansoor. I will be removing the slide away because we will be working on the break Zoom out rooms once you're all in. I might be sharing it again. So if you want to write it down, you can write it down. What steps to take when planning ERP implementation?
Yes, we can share this slide in the Zoom WhatsApp group.
Okay,
It will be
okay.
easy for them. To,
You can start placing them in the breakout room, sir. Okay, everyone, get ready.
okay, okay. So we are bifurcating uh, these people into groups,
Yes,
and I
and
am
you
sharing the slide.
can, 5 minutes should be enough for them for
Yeah,
discussion.
five
Five,
minutes only.
5 or 8
Yes.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So I am creating two breakup rooms.
Okay.
Wait.
जो भी, यस, थर्ड वन वुड बी ट्रेनिंग एंड चेंज मैनेजमेंट, जो कि आप ईआरपी सिस्टम के अकॉर्डिंगली जब उसको परफॉर्म कर लेते हैं या उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर लेते हैं, तो आपने अपने वर्कफोर्स को उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ट्रेन करना होता है। तो थर्ड पार्ट के अंदर मेरे ख्याल में ट्रेनिंग एंड चेंज मैनेजमेंट वाला आ जाता है, राइट? अगर इसमें कोई इनपुट है तो प्लीज आप लोग शेयर कर सकते हैं।
वन थिंग आई वांट टू आस्क अबाउट दिस कि जब हम ईआरपी जो है ना प्लानिंग के ऊपर जो है ना ये डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जब हम लोग जो है ना अपनी कंपनी के साइज के अकॉर्डिंग भी तो ये चीज चेक करते हैं ना। क्या हमारी कंपनी स्टार्टअप है तो हम उसके अकॉर्डिंग काम करें, ये मिड लेवल कंपनी है या लार्ज स्केल कंपनी है, तो हम इसके अकॉर्डिंग भी तो ईआरपी को देख रहे होते हैं।
यस, तो इसीलिए सबसे पहला पॉइंट होगा नीड्स नीड्स असेसमेंट का,
नीड
कि हमने
असेसमेंट।
असेसमेंट।
जी।
यस, सबसे पहले असेसमेंट आपने करनी है कि आपको क्यों चाहिए सिस्टम, क्यों चाहिए, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा आपका, आइदर रिगार्डलेस कि आप एक इनिशियल स्टार्टअप का पार्ट है, आप मिड लेवल का पार्ट है, आप एक स्ट्रक्चर ऑर्गेनाइज।
ये मेरा
हम्म। आई एग्री विद सुभान। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि पहले हमें कंपनी की कोर जो एक्टिविटी वो करना चाह रहे हैं, पहले उसके बारे में पता होना चाहिए कि उनका मोटिव क्या है। माइट भी हमें कौन सी रिक्रूटमेंट चाहिए, इंजीनियर्स चाहिए। अगर इंजीनियर्स चाहिए तो उनकी सिलेक्शन और उनकी जो ज़रूरत है, जिस तरह के जो लोग हमें ज़रूरत है, उनका एक क्राइटेरिया बिल्ड करना पड़ चाहिए। तो
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
क्राइटेरिया
ऐसे
बिल्ड
ही।
करने के लिए फिर हमें उस पे काम करना पड़ेगा। आई थिंक ये वाला सबसे पहले होना चाहिए ना, ये पॉइंट पहले होना चाहिए।
बिल्कुल आई एग्री, एग्री एग्री।
हाँ।
मुझे मुझे जो लगता है कि जो चीज़ हमें कंसीडर करनी चाहिए सबसे पहले, कोई भी ईआरपी किसी भी ऑफिस में इंस्टॉल करने से पहले, यू हैव टू डिस्कस विद योर हायर मैनेजमेंट, और उनके सामने हमें बीइंग अ एचआर मैनेजर और वट एवर यू आर ऑन पोजीशन, आप उनको सोल्यूशन दो। दो एचआर ईआरपी ले जाओ, आप उनको कंपैरिजन करके बताओ कि ये इसके ये बेनिफिट्स है, इसके ये बेनिफिट्स है, ये ज़्यादा हमें बेनिफिट दे सकता है, ये कम बेनिफिट दे सकता है, इसकी कॉस्ट किसकी हमारे ज़्यादा वो है, हमारे लिए बेनिफिट है कि ये कम कॉस्ट में है और ये लेकिन हमें बेनिफिट ज़्यादा दे रहा है। तो
जी।
कंपैरिजन ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। और उसके बाद जो सेकंड स्टेप है वो ये है कि आपकी कंपनी की क्या नीड है, आप अपनी मतलब कंपनी जो आपकी जो बिजनेस नेचर ऑफ बिजनेस है आपका क्या है, क्या ये ईआरपी उस पे हम उसको चला पाएंगे। उसकी जो जो भी हम, जैसे कि एक इंजीनियरिंग कंपनी है, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग कंपनी है, उसमें ये होता है कि आपने उनकी टाइम शीट्स को फॉलो अप, हर चीज़ उनका ओवर टाइम आपने कैलकुलेट करना होता है। तो क्या जो हम ईआरपी इंट्रोड्यूस करवा रहे हैं अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को, वो उनके लिए बेनिफिट है, वो इजीली उन पे अपना टाइम लॉग इन लॉग आउट कर सकते हैं या नहीं, ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं। मेरे ख्याल से तो किसी भी ईआरपी को इंस्टॉल करने से पहले उसकी कॉस्ट एनालिसिस होना चाहिए और आपके पास 3-4 कंपैरिजन होने चाहिए जो आप मैनेजमेंट को प्रेजेंट कर सकें।
अ, बिल्कुल ये
हम्म।
भी एक फैक्टर है जिसके बारे में हमें देखना चाहिए, क्योंकि अ,
कि मैं जहाँ पे काम करी थी वहाँ पे भी मैनुअल ही काम था, और जब हम लोग ईआरपी पे आए तो हमने 2-3 ईआरपी को एक्सपीरियंस किया। लाइक हमने पहले ओडो को ट्राई किया, बट ओडो इज बियॉन्ड आवर एक्सपेक्टेशन। वो एक्सपेंसिव भी था, लेकिन हमारी एक छोटी कंपनी को उतनी
हम्म।
ज़्यादा भी नहीं होती कि आप ओडो पे फर्स्ट पे जंप कर जाओ। तो हमारे लिए
हम्म।
एज इधर पाकिस्तान में जो है वो हमारे लिए लोकल बेस्ड जो ईआरपीज है वो सूटेबल रहते हैं। तो हमें उन पे फोकस करना चाहिए कि जो हमारी डेली की और जो है टाइम टू टाइम नीड्स है उसको वो पूरा करा है। ऑर्डर बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव था, तो फिर हमने एक और सॉफ्टवेयर ट्राई किया। वो हमारे लिए ना ठीक नहीं रहा। वो फाइनेंस के लिए ठीक था जोहो, लेकिन एचआर के लिए भी वो इतना वो अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं था। देन वी जंप टू आर लोकल बेस्ड ईआरपी सिस्टम फ्लो एसीएम। तो वो बेनिफिट रहा था हमारे लिए।
ओके, मतलब आपके अकॉर्डिंग ये है कि पहले पहला पॉइंट हमारे पास ये होना चाहिए कि हम लोगों को कॉस्ट एनालिसिस करनी चाहिए,
बिल्कुल
देन
हमारे
हमें
पास
क्राइटेरिया बनाना चाहिए। ये
हायर
सेकंड पॉइंट है।
जी जी बिल्कुल हमारे पास हायर मैनेजमेंट के
ठीक
पास
है।
एज एचआर मैनेजर आप जाते हो तो आपके पास सोल्यूशन होने चाहिए। आप उनको बताएं ये एआरपी है, हम इस ईआरपी के थ्रू अपनी कंपनी को लेवल पे लेके जा सकते हैं, या स्टार्टिंग के लिए हमारे लिए ये ईआरपी ठीक है, नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर 5 साल बाद हम इसको शिफ्ट कर सकते हैं इस।
हम्म। हम्म। ठीक है। अच्छा, ये तो एक 2 पॉइंट हो गए ना, एंड थर्ड वन?
थर्ड वन वही जो आप ईआरपी चूज कर रहे हो वो फ्रेंडली यूजर और एम्प्लॉयज को, मतलब एम्प्लॉयज चाहते हैं जो भी नया नई चीज आई है ना वो उनको फट से समझ आ जाए, वो उनको खपना ना पड़े किसी चीज पे, तो वो बहुत ज्यादा इजी टू यूज हो। ठीक है, आप उनको थर्ड एम्प्लॉयज
पड़ रहा है हमें, और जो हमारी मैक्सिमम नीड को जो है वो फुलफिल करता है। द वंस आप सिस्टम एक्वायर कर लेते हैं तो उसका बीआरडी होता है, लेटर ऑन फिर आप उसके ऊपर लाइक डेटा माइग्रेशन की बात कर रहे होते हैं, डेटा माइग्रेशन के बाद फिर आप यूजर्स क्रिएशन की बात कर रहे होते हैं, सबके यूजर्स क्रिएट हो जाए, फिर आप रखते हैं अपना लाइक डेमो सेशन रखते हैं जिसके अंदर सब ऑडियंस को आप ट्रेन कर रहे होते हैं। लाइक फिर उसके बाद अपनी एफिशिएंसी नोट करते हैं कि आइदर ये सिस्टम की एफिशिएंसी क्या है, मतलब जो पहले हम काम कर रहे थे उसमें वर्किंग आवर्स हमारे ज्यादा कंज्यूम हो रहे थे कंपैरेटिवली टू ऑटोमेट करने के बाद उसके ऊपर क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है। तो दिस वुड बी द
अच्छा,
प्रोसेस टू
मेरा ख्याल है कि ये जो हम जो टेस्टिंग करेंगे वो हम यूजर ट्रेनिंग से पहले करेंगे, नहीं?
टेस्टिंग जो हम करेंगे यूजर ट्रेनिंग से पहले ही होता है, बिल्कुल ऐसे ही, लेकिन हमने सिर्फ 3 पॉइंट्स में इसको समराइज करना है।
अच्छा,
तो
थ्री
मेरी
थ्री
सजेशन ये थी
पॉइंट्स
नीड,
करना है। अच्छा।
यस actually ये पॉइंट्स तो बहुत सारे बन सकते हैं इसके ऊपर, लेकिन 3 पॉइंट्स में से नीड
अच्छा, ओके।
असेसमेंट,
ओके।
सिस्टम सिलेक्शन एंड ट्रेनिंग, ये 3 पॉइंट मेरी
ओके।
मेरी रिकमेंडेशन है कि
यस,
ये हो
डन।
सकता
डन डन, गो अहेड।
है। डन एवरीवन?
जी,
तो
ये
ये जो
डन।
लास्ट पॉइंट है इसमें जो टेस्टिंग है उसमें ही इम्प्लीमेंटेशन टीम हम सेलेक्ट करके एंड देन हम टेस्टिंग की तरफ जाएंगे ना, लाइक वो एक ही पॉइंट हो जाएगा।
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए वो अफसाना, आई थॉट अफसाना से बात हो रही है, राइट?
नो नो, आई एम सना।
सना, अच्छा सर देखिए, जो आप टेस्टिंग वाला फेज होता है ना उसमें आप 100% लाइव ऑडियंस के ऊपर इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर रहे होते। वो आप कहते हो कि टेस्ट रन के लिए हमने सेलेक्टेड एक पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट ले लिया, लाइक सबसे पहले हमने कहा कि हम एचआर के ऊपर ही इम्प्लीमेंट करके देखेंगे कि अदर इसकी एफिशिएंसी क्या निकल रही है। लेटर ऑन फिर आप उसको बात जो है उसको मूव ऑन या रोल आउट फेज के अंदर मजीद लेके जाते हैं, डिपार्टमेंट टू डिपार्टमेंट एड ऑन करना शुरू करते हैं। तो ये पार्ट जो है
हमारे
आपका
पास 1 मिनट है, शायद हम वाइंड अप करें।
यस यस प्लीज प्लीज, इस तरह कोई सवाल है तो प्लीज पूछ लें।
नहीं नहीं, इट्स ओके। बस मैं एक यही चीज पूछना चाह रही थी बिकॉज टेस्टिंग में जो है ना, मतलब लाइक पहले एक टीम हमारे पास होनी चाहिए देन हम उसको टेस्टिंग की तरफ लेके जाएंगे, ये चीज मेरे माइंड में थोड़ी सी कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करी, तो मैं इसी के
बिल्कुल
बाद थोड़ा सा
ऐसे ही है,
पूछना।
बिल्कुल ऐसे ही। पहले आप सिस्टम बनाने के बाद उसे टेस्ट कर देंगे, उसका सॉफ्टवेयर चलता है, लेटर ऑन फिर आप लाइव फेज पे जाते हैं।
ठीक है
आई
ठीक है,
थॉट टाइम्स अप, 10 seconds आर लेफ्ट, सो हम ज्वाइन करते हैं फिर, राइट?
ओके ओके,
थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
थैंक यू, मोस्ट वेलकम।
Okay, I think everyone has mostly joined us. Okay, so we will continue. I will continue sharing my slide, and then we will take it forward from there and our discussion. I hope you all enjoyed the breakout room. I would be happy to listen to any of the feedbacks. Okay, let's go and share my slide. Okay, just a moment. Right. Okay, so I think we can see the same slide again, and we will get into the discussion. Okay, so we know that you were all divided into 2 rooms, and we will be also confident that you have already decided your group leader. So let's go with room number 1, breakout room 1. Your leader can come forward and discuss what points were discussed at that time during the discussion. So your group leader is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Zanera. Zanera is the group leader for Group 1. Okay, Zanera, please go ahead and discuss the points that what steps are to be taken when planning ERP implementation.
मैम जैसे कि मैं डिस्कस कर रही थी कि जब मैं काम कर रही थी तो एक हम लोग भी ऑब्वियसली मैनुअली काम कर रहे थे, तो हमने ईआरपी पे शिफ्ट करना था, क्योंकि जो भी आप छोटी भी जितनी भी छोटी कंपनी हो, विद इन पैसेज ऑफ टाइम यू हैव टू शिफ्ट ऑटोमेशन साइड, ठीक है। तो जब हम लोग ईआरपी की तरफ जा रहे थे, तो मुझे जो लगता है कि जो प्राइमरी 3 स्टेप्स है ना, वो ये है कि आपको सबसे पहले आप कॉस्ट एनालिसिस करना चाहिए ईआरपी के रिलेटेड, ठीक है। यू हैव टू ऑप्शन मल्टीपल ईआरपी एंड ब्रिंग टू द हायर मैनेजमेंट। आप उनको बताएं कि ये ईआरपी है और इसके कॉस्ट बेनिफिट उनको बताएं कि ये हमें ज़्यादा कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव है और इससे हमें ज़्यादा बेनिफिट मिल सकता है। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल जब हम ट्राई कर रहे थे ईआरपी की तरफ, तो हमने सबसे पहले ओडो को ट्राई किया, लेकिन ओडो हमारे लिए सेटअप के लिए ठीक नहीं था, ठीक है। इसी में दूसरा पॉइंट इंक्लूड हो जाता है कि बिजनेस नीड्स को आप अपना इसको ख्याल रखते हैं कि आपकी बिजनेस नीड क्या है, नेचर क्या है आपके बिजनेस की, कौन सा ईआरपी उसको सूट करता है, जिसमें उसकी लाइक एक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कोई इंजीनियरिंग कंपनी है, तो उसकी उसकी जो नॉर्मल नीड्स होंगी ना, वो डिफरेंट कंपनी से डिफरेंट होंगी, ठीक
Right.
है। उसका ओवर टाइम होगा, उसका क्या कहते हैं पर टाइम कैलकुलेट होगा, पर आवर कैलकुलेट हो रहे होंगे, उसकी साइड अलाउंसेस कैलकुलेट हो रही होंगी। तो ये बहुत सारी डिफरेंट चीज़ें होती हैं इंजीनियरिंग कंपनीज में, जो आप नॉर्मली हर एक कंपनी में सेम नहीं होती। तो आपको अपने बिजनेस नीड्स को भी देखना कि क्या ये ईआरपी ये ठीक है कि आपकी बिजनेस नीड को पूरा करे। और थर्ड पॉइंट ये है कि एम्प्लॉय इंटरेक्शन। एम्प्लॉय जब आप कोई भी चीज़ अपने ऑफिस में इंट्रोड्यूस करवाते हैं, तो जो फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन आता है ना, एम्प्लॉयज खुश नहीं होते कि ये नई चीज़ आई है, उनको ये होता है कि ये हमें करना पड़ेगा। लाइक अगर
Right.
आप उनको कोई चीज़ बताते हो कि ये आपको ये चीज़, जब आप मैनुअली काम कर रहे होते हो, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ों पे एम्प्लॉयज इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो रहे होते, वो उनको किया कराया काम मिल जाता है। लेकिन जब आप ऑटोमेशन वाली साइड पे आते हो, तो बहुत सारे काम एम्प्लॉयज को खुद करने पड़ते हैं, उनको इन्वॉल्व होना पड़ता है, जो एम्प्लॉय को ना थोड़ी सी स्टार्टिंग में ना वो थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम लगती है।
Hesitant. Very
हाँ,
good.
तो हेजिटेट फील करते हैं। तो इंटरेक्शन विद एम्प्लॉयज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और आपको हर मॉड्यूल के बारे में जो भी ईआरपी में आप अपना लाइक आपने पे रोल किया है, रिक्रूटमेंट की है, और अगर आप लीव मैनेजमेंट है, जो भी आपका मॉड्यूल है, आपको हर एम्प्लॉय को समझाना, ओरिएंटेशन भी। समटाइम्स आपके एम्प्लॉय वो लो लेवल के होते हैं, तो लाइक वो एक साइड पे काम करने वाला एक छोटा सा एम्प्लॉय हो सकता है, लेकिन उसको ईआरपी की समझ नहीं होती, आपको उसके हिस्से का भी काम करना पड़ता है और उसको भी
Very
साथ
good.
करना पड़ता है। तो इंटरेक्शन विद एम्प्लॉयज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड इट्स अ वेरी क्रूशियल स्टेप फॉर इंस्टॉलिंग ईआरपी इन एनी ऑफिस और कंपनी।
Very good. Thank you so much, Zanera. Do you have any more points?
राइट नाउ आई जस्ट इट्स अ लॉन्ग डिबेट। अगर आप रियल
Of
एनालिसिस करते,
course,
हाँ,
of course.
रियल
No,
एनालिसिस करते हैं, तो बहुत सारी
we
छोटी छोटी चीजें और निकल
yeah,
आती हैं।
we need to keep it summarized so we can move to the next room as well. But I really like the way you have discussed and explained it. How you can what you meant by employee direction is more like a training for employee.
Yes,
And
training.
the way you explained it, it feels like you want to say that you want to have a customized training. That means her employee accordingly you have to
Yes,
set that level of understanding, and a lot of things you will have to do them initially, and then you have to bring them on board, and then get on their like actually wear their shoe and understand. So that's a very, and also business need. The point that your group has raised is again very important. You need to understand which direction your business is going, what's the need, and what will be the demand in down the road, 4 to 5 years ahead and all. So great. Thank you so much, Zanera, and for all the group members who were part of Zanera. Thank you for your contribution. I was coming and monitoring both the rooms off and on, so I was very happy to see how well everyone was collaborating and interacting. So excellent job. Okay, great. Let's move on to room 2. Would you like to share your group leader name, please? And the group leader
Moon
can
Rahman.
Moon
Thank you.
Rahman. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma'am, for the appreciation. सिंस जो डिस्कशन हुआ उसमें अगर इसको कंक्लूड किया जाए किसी भी ईआरपी सिस्टम को अडॉप्ट करने के लिए, तो फॉर एज पर आवर डिस्कशन वी नीड टू एनालाइज द रूट कॉज, या आप इसको कह लें कि आपको नीड असेसमेंट सबसे पहले करना पड़ता है, जिसके अंदर आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकें कि आपके बिजनेस के रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है, कौन से ऐसे टास्क है जिसके लिए आपको ऑटोमेशन की तरफ या ईआरपी सिस्टम की तरफ जाना पड़ेगा, या कौन से ऐसे टाइम कंज्यूमर जिसमें आपके वर्क आवर्स या मैन आवर्स बहुत ज्यादा स्पेंड हो रहे होते हैं। तो नीड असेसमेंट सबसे पहले ही जरूरी बात है। सेकेंडली, अगर इस टाइप की बात करें तो सिस्टम सिलेक्शन एंड कस्टमाइजेशन का, जिसके अंदर हम डिफरेंट ईआरपी सॉल्यूशंस को जो है उनका डेमोस्ट्रेशन कर सकते हैं और उसमें से आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं जो हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल नीड्स को फुलफिल कर रहा हो और जो कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव भी हो। दैट सेकंड स्टेप के अंदर हम सिस्टम सिलेक्शन एंड कस्टमाइजेशन, एंड थर्ड की अगर बात की जाए तो ट्रेनिंग एंड चेंज मैनेजमेंट, लाइक स्मूथ एडॉप्शन के लिए ट्रेनिंग होना जरूरी है। और दूसरा, चेंज मैनेजमेंट आसान नहीं होता, लोग चेंज पसंद नहीं करते और वो अपने कंफर्ट जोन से निकलना नहीं चाहते पाए। सो उसके लिए आप चेंज मैनेजमेंट स्ट्रेटजीज लगाई जा सकती है, जिसमें जितनी भी रेजिस्टेंस वगैरह आ रही होती है एम्प्लॉयज को, उसको क्विक किल करके एंड देन मूव ऑन, आप इम्प्लीमेंट उसको स्मूथली, एंड देन लास्ट में अगर फीडबैक वाला पार्ट हो या एफिशिएंसी शो करनी हो, तो वो कंपैरेटिवली आप दोनों प्रीवियस वर्किंग और एग्जिस्टिंग, लाइक आफ्टर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन आप अपनी लाइक लीडरशिप को शेयर कर सकते हैं कि अदर एफिशिएंसी क्या ड्राइव हुई इस एक्टिविटी के बेसिस पर। तो नीड असेसमेंट, system selection, and training and change management. 3 steps.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Moon and Rahman and the groups. I was coming and listening to your conversation. It was very energetic discussion, and I'm happy to get all the responses. The key points is change management, need analysis, and how we can bring the training. Training is very important because if you implement and nobody knows how to use it and where to use it and how to use it, there's no point of having it implemented. So training is very important. It comes at the later part, but it's very important. So thank you so much for the discussion. I really enjoyed it, and I really like the collaboration in our team in our training session all the time. Okay, so now we will be moving on and discussing the same question from a perspective that, the presentation that I've made for all of you, and in general, globally, what aspects are to be used for plan for implementation. So as already mentioned, assess current system and processes. It is very important to see what's the current process, what are the current systems, what are the current needs, and what will it be done later on. And other thing is that what are the inefficiencies and the pain points, the things that we need to improve. Like I mentioned that in business process reengineering, we are identifying the problems and then we are removing them and we are trying to improvise them. So we need to assess the current system so we know what are the pain points and which aspects we need to pick and remove and then fix. Define clear business goals. This is also discussed by Zanera and her team in the first room. The business goals, the business needs, the type of business and all. So we need to establish what you want to do and what you want to achieve with your ERP system. Either it's just performance management, either it's just payroll, either it's just HR, or you want to have a whole lot of it. So it's the discussion important. Form an ERP implementation project team. This is something I was expecting, but it didn't come in the discussion. It's all right. So this is also very important. When we talk about the project team, now we know, okay, the company heads are going to discuss, the board of directors will be discussing, okay, we're going to have our systems automated and we will have people doing it. But people, who are those people? We need to have a team. Let's say there are like 7 departments in an organization, and let's say there are around 45 to 50 employees. They all cannot be part of that project team. We need to pick certain people. Now we need to assemble a cross-functional team with a representative from HR, IT, finance, the related one, and then the executive leadership, and assign a project manager to oversee the implementation and coordinate tasks. Now, one of you was the group leader in your group. That person, whoever chose or whoever, maybe you volunteered, the group leader, I'm sure, must be very attentive that, oh, okay, I have to note down every point because I will be representing my group and I have to go forward and share it with the trainer and everyone that what were our points. So similarly, we need a project manager who is basically leading in that project team hierarchy, who will be overseeing the implementation, coordinating the task, assigning the work. So we need to have really informed, technical, and experienced people in this project team. So this is also an important part of implementation process. Research and select the right ERP system. Obviously, we know we need to do that, and normally this is done by the higher management. They will either purchase an ERP from external, or they will have some ERP team visiting their premises, making their own setup there, and trying to coordinate with the employees every day. And so this is depending on the need of the company and their decision and their budget, that what kind of ERP system can they bring. Plan the project timeline and budget. Okay, this is again something that was not discussed in our initial breakout room. So we all know that everything needs to have a budget and everything needs to have a timeline. Today we have a time for 3 hours, and we have to cover this topic in those 3 hours. As well as that, along that, we have your discussions. We need to have some videos played, and all those things. So I have a time limit for 3 hours. Sorry. So in that case, I know I need to wrap up the whole topic within this time frame. So I have that timeline. Similarly, a company will have a timeline. Let's say 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. We need to make our company paperless in the next 2 years, and we have a target of 6 months that we need to bring our data from our paper into automation, and then how we can bring it smoothly flow in our system. And then training. How much time do we have to train? Like, how much time do we need to take to train our employees? So like Zanara was initially discussing, that we need to have individualized training, customized training. For that, we need to see lower staff how much time will the lower staff take, and how much the management, according to that. So we need to develop that accordingly, because when we do that, we need to have the data migration is done, system configuration is done, testing and training is done, and you have to go live in that preparation. And then you have to prepare and cleanse your data. So organize and clean your existing HR data to ensure accuracy before migrating it to the new ERP system. So when we are migrating from one ERP to the other ERP system, or let's say from manual to normal, we need to at least organize and clean our data. For example, there are 20 employees who left the company and they are still active in your system. You need to remove their data first, because they're no more working with you. You need to clean their data so that when you transfer the manual data to the automation, that set of inactive employees should not come in the current new ERP system. So these kind of things we need to do. Okay, now we need to step into a step-by-step guide. And step 1, assess current HR systems and processes, like we discussed, but we'll sort of go through that. I would like to have Mr. Subhan, if you can hear us. Could you please read out the first step for us? Yes, Subhan, we didn't even have your introduction. We had it in the chat. So I would like to hear your voice and see if you can contribute towards this. Step 1, can you read it for us? Okay, maybe he's not available at the moment for a microphone. Afsana, would you like to read it? Yes, Afsana, can you hear me? Okay. How about Sana? Can you hear me, Sana? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Can you read step number 1 and step number 2 for us?
Yes, ma'am. Step number 1 is assess current HR system and processes. Conduct a thorough review of existing HR workflow, system, and pain points. Number 2, identify inefficiencies and bottlenecks and specific requirement for the new ERP. Third one is document expectations. No, sorry. Expectations and goals goals for the ERP implementations. Step number 2, form an ERP implementation team. Number 1 is assemble a cross-functional project team, including HR leader, IT staff, and executive sponsors. Number 2 is align a project manager to coordinate tasks and timelines. Number 3 is consider hiring external consultants for expertise and best practices.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sana, for your reading for us. So we are familiar with step one. Step two, we have another thing that we need to discuss is that we need to consider external consultants for expertise and best practices. So it is also important that when we are forming an implementation team, we need to know that we are having a cross-functional team, and we also need to know that we are having a project manager who's going to lead. But we need to consider hiring external consultants for expertise and best practices. If you don't have people on board who you think cannot be able to monitor or overlook the task, then just feel free to hire someone from outside. Like, I would like to share my experience when I was working with one of the companies, and I was there as an HR manager, and I was there to automate the system. We also did the same thing. So we had some external consultants coming to our office, and they would sit in our office like once a week, but they were working in another region. So they would be visiting us once a week, and they would be trying to communicate with us what are the requirements of the software and of the system. And then we were trying to communicate with them on emails. And when they were on the premises, we were there showing them, and they were there showing us. So because we didn't have that expertise to have an ERP from within our, we had them collaborate with us. But something like you have a project team from your organization and you have an ERP system from an organization. So ERP is something different. You need to have a project team from your company, someone who's going to who's going to basically coordinate all the tasks and make sure the tasks are done within the budget, within the time frame. So it is very important for us to see, if you don't have someone in the company, you can have someone from outside and come and work with us, or you can work in a collaborated way. Instead of having all the external consultants, you can just have one person from outside, and you can have the rest from your own organization. So you in your company, your higher management would know what's better. If you're not working for a managerial position right now, you don't need to worry. They will be arranging all these things, but then you will be there to look into the factors that will be contributing when it comes to the implementation. Like, for example, when we talk about recruitment and selection, in the ERP, there are modules. So they will ask you, okay, what is the first step that you want to do? The first step is to prepare a job specification. And even before that, you will have a manager raising the concern, okay, I need a person in my department. Then you have a job specification, and then you have an advertisement. And automatically with the ERP, the advertisement will be connected with the website, and then you will be getting the resumes. So there will be a complete process, modules, and when you go in the ERP, you just have to click and connect, and approvals are sent to the next department, and that's how it goes further. So naturally, we know it's very very efficient, but at the same time, there are a lot of challenges because it's a new system. Like Moon Rahman also mentioned, change is not easy. Nobody's ready to accept it. It takes time. So there are challenges. It's not that it's just very easy. You just start doing it. No, you need to accept the change. You need to work hard. You need to understand. Third one is to define scope and objectives. We need to clearly define that and set measurable goals, establish budget, timeline. We already discussed that. Okay, we'll move on. Choose the right ERP solution. Now, we already discussed some ERPs in our previous slides. I named a lot of them. So company has to decide which one is right for them based on their capabilities, the budget constraint that the company has, and other requirements and features. Step 5, prepare and cleanse your data. We discussed that already. I don't think we need to go into that. Step 6, customize and configure the ERP. Tailor the ERP system to match your HR processes and organization structure. We have already discussed this point. We're running out of time, so I'll just jump on to the next slide. Okay, the pilot testing system, we all know, if any one of you is from an engineering, a technical field, you would know, like I worked for a telecom company for a long time. So over there, obviously there were some processes, and then after the software was run and tested, only then the site was ready for further processing. So we need to run the ERP in a controlled environment with a small user group. Let's say the ERP, you have already populated the ERP with your data, and now you need to test it. Are you going to float it in the whole employees, among all employees? No. You will start that with a small group of testing. It can be done within the HR department or just some selected managers of each department. So this way we will know what are the loopholes. Identify and fix the bugs, workflow issues, usability problems, collect feedback, and adjust configurations as needed. Now, this is something done by the technical people. You in HR don't have to do that. You don't have to fix the bugs. You don't have to configure or adjust it. The technical team will be doing it, or the ERP will have that system in it to fix it. Train the users, a very important point. It has already been discussed in the rooms because we know that training will lead to success. So we need to have different ways. It can be e-learning, it can be physical, it can be talking, it can be some rooms, collaborating, discussion, presentation, different ways, on-site, showing it. So there are different ways of training your employees when the ERP is being implemented. Go live and monitor. Now it's time to launch the ERP system and organize wide with full functionality. Once the system is successful, the test was done, pilot testing is successful, just go ahead and make it live. And you have to maintain open communication channels for users, support and issue, resolve issue. Now, step number 10, Moon Rahman, would you like to read it for us? Step number 10, the last one.
Yes. Post-implementation support and continuous improvement. Establish a dedicated support team to handle questions and troubleshooting issue. Schedule regular updates, audits, and training refreshers. Solicit ongoing user feedback to optimize system use and add new features.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman. So, these steps we've already discussed and in our rooms individually, and now we've also read the slides. This is a diagram that shows us exactly what is happening. You plan and organize the things. There is a system selection, you install, you migrate your data, and then it's training, and then you test and validate, and then you go live, and then you have finally ongoing improvements and feedback. That is a continuous vicious cycle. So, as I discussed, there were some ERPs that I already discussed with you previously. One of that is Workday ERP. Like Telenor is using Workday ERP for their HR and recruitment selection, and there are many more organizations. So I would like to share, I also have a video, we will be playing that. So in order for you to understand it a little bit better. So how Workday ERP handles recruitment selection module. Just one example, how does it do it? So job posting and candidate sourcing. The first thing, the Workday enables organization to create a job and post job requisitions across multiple job boards and career sites. Like we have Indeed, we have Glassdoor, we have Monster.com, we have LinkedIn, so many other career sites. So what Workday is doing, it's enabling the organizations to create and post the job requisitions across multiple job boards so that people will be aware, okay, there's a position and then they have to apply. AI-powered candidate matching is done. That's embedded AI, like Hired Score is their embedded AI that works within, like an ATS, analyzes candidate resumes and skills to recommend the best matches, expanding diverse talent pools and improving quality of hire. Automated candidate engagement. The system automates communication via emails and SMS, sending tailored campaigns and updates to keep candidates engaged throughout the process. What does that mean? For example, over here, three of our members in this room are interested for a position at a certain company on a certain position. Now, there are 10 more people who are applying for the same position. So out of those 10 and these 4, let's say we'll shuffle and there are total 3 which are shortlisted by the system. What will the system do? They will send emails, SMS, sending them the messages to tell them, okay, you have moved to the next step, and tailored campaigns, and we'll update them. Okay, this is the update. Now you're ready to do this. Now you have to come for an interview or for a test and so on. And for the people who were not selected, who were not shortlisted, will be getting an email or a message that we regret to inform you. Unfortunately, this time, your skill set didn't match, but thank you for your time. We encourage you to apply in future as well. So that will be a prompt that will be written in the system, and that will be there. The system will be sending it automatically. So you don't have to do that as a repetitive task. Now we understand how the ERP is working. Okay, streamlined application and interview scheduling, like we've all discussed. There are people who are interviewing on phone calls or calling them and then taking interviews. It's a long process. But when you're working on Workday ERP, candidates can apply easily via mobile or desktop. They import social profile data, check application status. Like when we apply for jobs, like right now, if you think of the jobs that you have applied for recently, you will always be getting a message. Do you want to, apply through LinkedIn? Or do you want to do it, log in through Facebook, through Gmail? It gives you an idea of picking up some of your data itself. So this is all happening back at the back-end software. So Workday automates interview coordination and feedback collection. They are integrated with tools like Microsoft Teams, Slack, and other software that are working at the back end as the integrated tools. For example, it's a normal way if anything needs to work. Like right now, I'm having this training session across the country. Like I'm not even in Asia. I'm communicating from Europe. But I have Zoom with me, I have Sir Mansoor with me, I have Tilty's platform, and I have all of you here, my audience, right? So we all are the integrating tools that we bring this training live and we bring it happening. This is exactly what happens at Workday. They are integrating tools that connect and they make sure that things happen. Bulk actions and workflow automation. Now, recruiters can manage high volumes of applicants through bulk actions, such as moving candidates through different stages. For example, if you are dealing with 50 resumes in, let's say, 1 week, it will be very hard for you, to sort them. So when the ATS is doing, when the Workday ERP is doing, it is automatically dividing that into stages, and the processing, offering, reducing the manual tasks, they accelerate so to fill the time gap. Reporting and compliance. Customizable reports, I said it's one of my favorite aspect in the ERPs because they just generate them for you based on the data that you entered. It helps us in real time, helping HR automate hiring strategies and ensure compliance. So we'll just summarize it quickly. And on Workday ERP, what happens? A recruiter can create a job requisition, automatically post it, receive AI curated candidate list, engage candidates with automated messaging, schedule interviews via integrated calendars, and generate offer letters, all within one platform, significantly reducing manual workload and speeding up hiring. So we all know what's happening. For example, you're sitting in Pakistan and you want to apply for you want to do your master's in human resources, and you're looking for at a certain university, let's say somewhere maybe in Canada or in Italy, anywhere. You just type an email and you send your document. So what's happening at the back end? They're assessing your documents, they're scheduling your meeting, and they're responding you back, and they're putting those in your calendar, and okay, I have a webinar to attend, I have a meeting to attend. Oh, I didn't get selected. Okay, I have to move on. Everything is communicated through the system, through the software. So this is the whole crux of how an ERP is working. And I would like to show you over here, this is a module from an ERP Workday. And you can see that it is basically showing the headcount and open positions, and how many are filled, how many are full employees, how many are contingent work employees, how many are open. And then there is a circle that is telling us job requisitions by location. So altogether, there are 429 count. In San Francisco, they're showing us the chart. It tells us how many positions, how many job requisitions are placed on Workday. London, Paris, Dallas, New York, they're giving you in the color coding. And then there is candidate pipeline, how many candidates are in pipeline, how many are in the interview section, how many are in compliance. So it's giving us a complete list of that. And then we can see this is basically talking about talent management. And there's this another report also from Workday. It tells us that, okay, certain employee is external or internal or is referral. Like you can see number 3, an employee is a referral type, like somebody referred him and he's employed. So we know the date of joining, or we also know the date that he applied for, and the position, it's marketing coordinator, and time in current role is like 2 years and 7 months. So we have all the stats in the report of those applicants. So this is how we get the results in the report. And again, there are some recruiting campaigns, email analytics. It tells us overall open rate. Okay, so we are done with our ERP planning phase and all that. I have a couple of videos I want to show you, and because we are running out of time, we also have to do another section. So these are some HR top automation trends that you will be getting in the presentation later, and you can read it. They're really interesting, like blockchain and communication platforms. These are all the trends. I don't want to get much deeper into that. I would like to jump into this video. So this video is going to tell us what is happening and how something is added in the ERP. So I'll just quickly unshare my screen. And I would like to go into sharing my video from YouTube. So I want all of you to watch the video, listen to it carefully, and then if you have any question, we can discuss that. So I'll be sharing my screen in just a few seconds. Yeah, so this is Workday demonstration, and here we go. Okay. Okay, so I will be starting off this. In this demonstration, can you please give me a thumbs up if you can listen to the voice of the video? Anyone can give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. Thank you. So this is a video. I hope you enjoy it. Just watch it and listen. In this demonstration, using the Workday training environment, I will be logging in as Martha Manager. Martha is really excited. Why? She has a new hire named Nevin Newby who is starting soon, and she wants to set him up for success. What better way than the onboarding setup in Workday? Onboarding setup gives managers the opportunity to provide a new hire with a custom welcome message or department-specific instructions if they choose. They can also select important people for the new hire to meet and helpful contacts. This information will flow into Workday's onboarding dashboard for the new hire. If the manager does not complete the step within 3 days, this step will auto-submit and move the onboarding process forward with default information. All right, let's get started. To access the onboarding setup step, Martha will go to her Workday inbox. Let's see if we can find the onboarding setup for hire inbox item. This step is sent to a manager's inbox once all of the approvals for hiring are completed. It looks like they have, because there it is. Onboarding setup for hire for employee Nevin Newby. Let's click it. The onboarding setup step displays with a default message. This is the message an employee will see if the manager does not customize it. You can add any text here, like a custom welcome message or department-specific instructions. Martha likes this message as it is, but we'll add Nevin's name for that extra special touch. Scrolling down, you can see the People to Meet section. This is where you can add recommended people to meet. The new hire will see this list, as well as the message above in their onboarding dashboard. This step encourages a new hire to meet the individuals you select. You can search for an individual by name, by your team, supervisor organization, or by manager. Maria wants Nevin to meet a specific talent director. Let's add Toshiro Talent. There's Toshiro, and you can see he's been added to the people to meet. If we wanted, we could add more people to this list. You can also choose to notify the people you select with a Workday notification. You can notify people by leaving the Notify checkbox checked. You can customize the notification subject and notification message, or leave it with the standard message. You can also choose not to send a notification by deselecting the Notify checkbox. You can complete the same exercise in the Helpful Contacts section.
Arnold Analyst already shows up, but we can remove him or add more helpful contacts to this list. Once you're happy with your welcome message, people to meet, and helpful contacts, you can click Submit. You'll see a confirmation message indicating that the event was successfully submitted. Great! But what happens if Martha hadn't completed the onboarding setup within 3 days? If the onboarding setup step is not submitted by the manager in time, it will auto-submit. This way, the onboarding process can continue to move forward. The new hire will still receive the default message and contact selections. Let's actually look at Nevin's onboarding dashboard now that the step has been completed. As you can see, there's the message from Martha, the people to meet, and helpful contacts. Thanks for watching as we walked through how a manager completes the onboarding setup for a new hire.
Right. So I'm sure everyone must have enjoyed it and got an insight of it. Anybody would like to share what were they trying to tell us in that video? Anyone? Any volunteer? Okay. So basically, in that video, we can understand how Workday is working on welcoming a new hire. So this manager's name is Martha, and she is having a new hire who is coming. Her name is Nevin Newby. She's very excited to welcome her. So there was an option where you could actually write a welcome note. And then there was a way to tell the new employee that, okay, there are some people who will be helpful for that new person to meet. For example, someone in the IT, because the new employee can have any trouble with her system or with his system. And then, okay, this is the person who is a very helping hand person. Someone in the administration will be a helping hand. So in the software, there was very easy access for Martha, the manager, to choose the right person as a helping tool. And then there was an option to customly select. You can search by name, by designation, by department. So it's, again, very quick and easy. And then you can also add how you can auto-submit a certain message. So for example, if due to any busy commitment, Martha was not able to send the message, what will happen? It will automatically, the system will automatically submit that message as a prompt or as a default message. So, this is how useful these tools are. And now I want to share one more video with you before we jump into our HR digitalization. So just bear with me, and I will share that with you in next few seconds. So this is also a way a person is trying to tell us about an ERP. And here we go. Just give me a thumbs up when you listen to the audio.
Hello everyone. Today I'll be demoing it.
You can hear the audio? Okay, thumbs up. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman. Okay, we will start listening to this and
Integration between Workado's Workbot for Slack and ServiceNow. In today's use case, we'll be going over a HR onboarding provisioning process. So whenever a new hire has been added to Workday, the manager will receive a notification on Slack about the new hire. At the same time, Workbot will also give the option to the manager to select the provisions that the new hire should receive. Workbot would then go into ServiceNow to...
Right, so we discussed it initially, if you remember. Workbot is having Slack. Slack is an integrated tool that is running at the back end of Workbot. And that is basically giving you an opportunity where they can integrate the tools and be able to connect with the new hire or any employees with their managers and that. So he's talking about Workbot and then Slack, the integrated tool. Okay.
Create these requests and kickstart the onboarding process. So I'll just jump right in. So as you can see, Betty Liu has just been added to Workday, and the manager is receiving this notification. So once Betty Liu has been added to Workday, the manager will receive this notification. This contains some information about the new hire, and the manager can look over it and review it. So when he wants to start the provisioning process, he can simply click this button over here. Workbot will essentially go out to ServiceNow and create this user in ServiceNow. At the same time, Workbot will retrieve all the available provisions that can be provisioned for this new employee. So the manager would simply pick from this list over here. So once the manager has selected from the pick list, Workbot will essentially go out to ServiceNow and create the request for this specific item. As you can see, a standard laptop has been selected.
Right. So we know that the manager is trying to give some resources to the employee, and the employee name is Betty Liu. So Workbot is working, and then we have ServiceNow. ServiceNow is again an integrated tool that is working along with the steps that the manager is trying to do. Now, the manager is probably going to give a laptop or a mobile, anything as a process provision for the new employee, and that's what they are telling us in this video.
And if you click on this link over here, it would take you to the ServiceNow page where the manager can review the request. So the manager can go on to select more items. And once the manager is done selecting the provisions for the new hire, he can simply click Done. Finally, Workbot will give you a notification of all the items that have been provisioned for Betty Liu. This is how Workado's Workbot for Slack can integrate your onboarding process.
So see, this is how the onboarding process is done on Workbot and then ServiceNow. And this is exactly how we discussed in our presentation about it. Anyone has any question about these two videos? I think you must have really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because it showed us step by step different aspects. Okay, now we have to jump into any questions? We have time now.
Ma'am,
No.
I want to ask something. You show Slack. Previously in one organization, I used this. But Slack तो बेसिकली जो है ना कम्युनिकेशन के लिए एक जो है ना ये प्लेटफॉर्म टाइप है, तो इसमें हम फर्दर भी जो है ना आगे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं एप्लीकेशंस के साथ, एंड जैसे इस वीडियो में अभी शो हुआ था, लाइक ये जो लास्ट पार्ट था उसमें वो साइन कर रहे थे चीजें, तो हमने तो उसको जस्ट कुछ पार्ट ही टच किया था, लाइक हम तो उसमें वर्किंग हमें जो है ना जो मिलती थी हम उसके लिए ये यूज करते थे। तो मैं ये पूछना चाह रही थी कि इसमें हम फर्दर भी इसको आगे जो है ना मतलब इसकी यूसेज है या किस तरीके से हम इसको फर्दर यूज कर सकते हैं।
Yes, Slack is basically used to build the workflow, and the automation that is basically done. It connects the main ERP with the main component of the ERP as an integrated tool, like it's collaborating certain steps. So when we are talking about automation, it helps us in the workflow and the processes to move the step forward and be able to complete our process, so that when we are looking into the main interface, Slack is the one that is supporting it. Similarly, over here we had ServiceNow that was also doing the same task. So yes, it is used to complete the process and be able to cater it forward for the workflows and the procedures. I hope I answered your question, Sana. Thank you for the question. So I think because we are running out of time and we have to also cover our HR digitalization topic, I want to involve more collaboration for our session again. So for now, I want all of you to open slido.com. I will quickly show you my slide. And in this slido.com experience, we have to, let me just share my slide so it's easier for everyone. I'm not sure if you have worked on Slido, anyone. It's just a collaborative way of, discussing and doing things. So I will like to share this here. Okay, basically, all you need to do right now is to open a browser on your mobile or on your laptop, whatever device you're using, and just write slido.com. And when you open slido.com, then you have to enter a code that is written in blue over here. And Sir Mansoor can also share it on WhatsApp. The slide is already here. You can write it down in front of you. When you open slido.com, enter 9152169. This is the code. And when you enter this code, just press enter and wait. I will be involving all of you so that we learn from each other and we be able to have more collaborative session. So now, if you remember, in the beginning of our session, I asked you a question that said, what is one word that comes to your mind when we say, what is HR automation? I want all of you to write that word, and then I will be asking you what was the phrase that comes to your mind when you look into what is HR automation. So wait for me to write the question, and then you can answer. So we can see the responses of all the participants. It's really fun. So are you all good to go? Do you have the number with you? 915-2169. Just put it on slido.com. Any questions until now? Okay, good to go. So I'm going to start our Slido experience. Okay. Okay, so I will just start off with that, and let's see. Good luck. It's good to see your responses. So let's see some responses from everyone. Okay, great. We can see Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Lahore. And the questions will change above, so just keep an eye on the question. Okay, we have someone from Burewala from Kamra. Very well. That's great. Okay, we'll continue our collaboration and we'll continue to have the responses. All right, you can look into the next question. Right, efficiency.
मैम कोड दोबारा बताइएगा 1 सेकंड.
Oh, okay, sure. The code is 915-2169. 915-2169. Okay, so we just got one answer. I would expect more answers because it's just one word. If you remember, we had a rapid brain teaser exercise, and we had some responses. Okay, streamlining technology. Okay, I like streamlining very well. Okay, I'm expecting more responses. Okay, the next question will be coming soon, so please be quick in writing your responses. Software. Okay, somebody has written software. Efficiency, streamlining, technology, and software. We need more responses. We have around 12, 14 participants, and I'm expecting everyone is joining or has already joined us. One person is typing. Okay. Okay, I have to change my question, so we'll move on. Right, we have next question. What phrase came to your mind when you read today's topic? What is HR automation? A phrase, that means you need to write 2 or more words. Process improvement, very well. Yes, process improvement is a very relatable term for HR automation. More phrases that you wrote. You can go back to the place where you wrote the phrase last time, so you don't have to think about it now. Okay, we have 15 more seconds for this. Okay, Afsana has written in the chat, using technology, especially software. Thank you so much, Afsana. In case you're having trouble on the Slido, you can write it on chat. That's a good initiative. But normally I'm not looking at the chat because I'm sharing my screen. Very well. Okay, new learnings. Yeah. Employee engagement. Very well. Smooth transactions. Excellent. Now, see, we're getting responses and we had a real-time data right in front of us. Great. Okay, we'll jump into our next question. Okay. Yeah, I can see a few more responses. Robotic innovation, reducing manual effort. Very good. Okay, there's another question. How challenging does ERP implementation sounds to you? How challenging? You can just write any word that comes to your mind. A lot challenging, less challenging. It's okay. I can do it. I can manage. Okay, I like it when you said more challenging. Complexity, nature, okay. Very well. Okay, that's great. And we'll jump into our next question. Okay, we have another question. We are expecting more responses now. Was this last session linked to your work? If yes, name the work function that you think will benefit from it. Employee experience. All right. Yes, it was beneficial. Training and development. All right. Training and development, right? Operation management. Okay, it's good. And skills. Very good. Okay, that's great. So we will be having last 2 questions. I will be putting them through and then All right, so how well you need to rate it accordingly. Just give a score that you think falls in the criteria. Okay, I guess that was easy and it was quick. Right, thank you for that. We all know that it's 50% 4 and 50% 5, so we are quite close to the maximum score. Okay, we have one last question, and we'll be moving to our slides then. How likely do you think you will continue to learn about HR automation? Continue to learn. Okay, that's good. So I can see most of you want to learn more. That's great. All right, I hope you enjoyed the slide experience, and we'll be moving back to our slides now. Okay, so we will be back on our slides. And I hope you all enjoyed and liked the Slido experience. How was it? Anybody wants to share? How was your Slido experience? So see, we tried to make it more interactive, right? Anybody wants to say anything?
New experience.
It was a new experience. Good. That's good. So it's great that we are learning in a new way. Anyone else?
Yes, it's a new experience, or we will explore it more, how to build the room and so on. So it's amazing.
That's great. I like the spirit that you will continue to use it and you will explore it more. That means like you have a research-oriented mind. So now from the Slido experience, we on spot in our training session, I was able to get the feedback, a real-time feedback from all of you. How was the session? How much did you benefit and what did you benefit from it? So see, this is the power of automation. This is the power of electronic and digitalization, that we can get our data and results on spot just in a real-time manner. If you remember, we discussed the real-time data over and over again in our previous slides. So this is how we do it. So it's just one example of doing it within our training session. So we'll be moving on to our next part of the training today, that is HR digitalization. So HR digitalization, you can clearly see it from the picture over here, is a process of converting manual paper-based HR documents and processes into digital formats for easier access, storage, and management. So HR digitalization is a broader concept that involves using digitalized data and digital technologies to improve or transform business process and workflow. So we all know that we are digging deep into it, but we also know that if we have everything in paper, it will not be that easy for us. So we just want to try and make it more efficient, make it more less problematic, and we also need to manage our storage. And if we want to manage our storage, we need to do it in a very digital. Okay, I think Hira has just joined. I can see her. Yeah, okay. Hira, are you in?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, she's in. Okay, great. Okay, Hira. So we move on to our first talk about this topic, HR digitalization. The key takeaways, like always, we all know that we will be learning about how essential digitalization HR process is for the improvement of for today's fast-growing business environment. And the second most important is that how successful HR digitalization empowers employees and it how enhances the engagement and it provides leaders with more real-time data insights. Okay, and this is one of my favorite discussion that I had it also previously. Over here, we will be discussing HR digitalization, why it matters. Because it enables efficiency, accuracy, improvement, employee experience, and strategic HR management in a fast evolving environment. The need of HR challenges. What is the need of HR challenges? Manual processes, data silos, slow recruitment, compliance, market demands, agility, remote workforce management, data-driven decisions, digital HR as a solution to meet these challenges and future-proof HR functions. So we can see there are small speech bubbles over here and talks about data silos. So, data silos is basically it's a repository of data that's controlled by one department or maybe a business unit, and it's isolated from the rest of the organization. For example, we have a staff of about 150 employees, and there is some really critical data that is not allowed for all the employees to view. So that data silos will be kept in that repository. So only certain people, or let's say departmental heads or some strategically who are involved in decision making, they will have the authority and the permission to look into that information. So, these kind of things are very important. And this is done when we have digitalization. If we have manual records, anybody can just get inside in absence of someone and just look into the records. So when we have electronified done in a very controlled manner, then everything gets secure. And then we have to also talking about, I'm not able to see my screen, just a moment. Okay. Digitalization reduces human errors, adherence to legal requirements. So when we talk about compliance, we basically mean that we have to follow certain rules. Now, if we are giving a contract to an employee, that person might be coming from a different background, and that person might not be, he or she might not be aware about certain industry. It is our job to tell them and to clearly identify them what are the problems or what are the things that he or she will be facing or the challenges. So when we are doing electron and digitalization, we're bringing everything in electrical format, we're basically securing our data and we are doing more compliance towards our documents. The policies and the procedures will be followed in a better way. I might not remember all labor laws. I might not remember all policies for the company or maybe for the region. If we have digitalization, if everything is done in an electronic way, we will be able to comply with that. We will be able to follow the procedures and all. The last thing that I would like to talk about here is risks. So, for example, if you remember, I already shared an example with you about signing contract or about putting the attendance. If there are more than 50 employees in a company and there are, let's say, 2 to 3 HR people, there is a high chances of missing signatures, incomplete forms that can lead to compliance issues. So while we talk about compliance, we also talk about compliance risks. So it's very important for us to be familiar with that. Now, we're moving on to our next slide. Core components of the HR digitalization. Now, I would like to have someone read it for me. How about Subhan, can you hear us now? Are you able to talk? We really want you to contribute in the session. Okay, how about Afifa? Can you hear us? Okay, so we would really like to have everyone contribute and collaborate in the session, but it's okay, I understand. Yes, Moon, would you like to read it for us?
Yes, please. Human capital management, SCM system integrate payroll benefits performance and talent management, applicant tracking system, ATS, automate recruitment workflows, employee self-service portals, employer employees to manage personal data and request. Digital learning platforms enable on-demand training and development.
Very well. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman. So what are the core components of HR digitalization? Because if you remember, we read the definition in the beginning. A broader meaning of that was to have a bigger picture of automation. So HR, HCM systems in the integrate payroll and all that. And then we have ATS. We already discussed about that. Employee self-service portal. It is done to empower the employees. And then again, enable on-demand training and development, that is a digital learning platform. So these are very important and good components for that. Steps to successful implementation of HR. So when we are talking about HR digitalization, we also have steps. It's just not that we have to plan and just run in a flow. No, we need to have a proper workflow. We need to have a proper function, and every step over here has its own time frame, has its own specification that we need to follow. Moon Rahman, would you like to read the steps for us one by one, please?
Yes. Assess current HR process and technology, then define clear goals and objectives.
Sorry.
Build a digital HR strategy and roadmap, then select and implement technology solution, design and automate HR processes, train HR staff and employees, ensure data security and compliance, monitor, measure, and optimize, foster a digital culture and change management, scale and innovate continuously. Indeed.
Okay, great. And then we can see further. Very good. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman. So we now the steps to a successful implementation. So if you want to remove any of the steps, you can, but this is a best practice that you need to do. And the most important over here is to train your staff. And then when it's done, you have to ensure to monitor it, because we need to get the feedback and we need to see how is it actually going in the right way, or is it not? Yes, Afsana, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Afsana, can you please read the slide? These are the examples.
Sure, ma'am. ATS automates job posting, resume screening, interviews, scheduling, and candidate communication. Second, digital onboarding platforms provide new hires with electronic forms, training modules, and integration with teams. Third, result faster hiring cycles, improve candidate experience, and reduce HR workload.
Great. So we already shared, thank you so much, Sana. Thank you so much. So we already shared about ATS. We discussed about automated recruitment onboarding, because this is a very important key component in recruitment in HR. That's why we're repeating the examples so that, we get the idea about it. So I think there shouldn't be any confusion in that. So we'll be moving on to our next slide. Yes. Anybody would like to volunteer to read this slide for us? These are again examples of employee self-service and engagement. Okay. How about Zanera? Would you like to read it for us?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second, please.
Sure.
Self-service portals allow employees to update personal info, request leave, and access benefit anytime and anywhere. Engagement tools like chatbots and pulse surveys gather real-time feedback and boost communication. Result faster hiring cycles, improved candidate experience, and reduced HR workload.
Great. Thank you so much, Zanera. Right. So we can see that self-service portals allow employees to update personal information, request leave, and access benefits anytime and anywhere. If you're not in your city and if you're not at the place where you're working, you can just access your employee portal from anywhere and just make the changes. Sometimes we have to change the number, we have to change our address or anything. And there's something called Pulse Survey. It's basically a short and a frequent survey that is done to measure feelings. That's why it's called Pulse Survey. It's done in organization to, and get the idea how the employees are feeling, what's their feedback, what is their stance about the work, are they happy, how are they catering to the change management. So these Pulse surveys are very beneficial, and they're short and they're quite frequent. You can also say that in our Slido experience, I slightly incorporated pulse survey as well. I was able to know how you're feeling about the session and how much you have learned and if you're interested to learn more or not. So that was also a short and a very real-time data pulse survey. So this is just a small example. So if we have a digitalization done, we can engage these kind of tools and using chatbots and all that. So once again, we can see the benefit of that. Listing out a few more benefits. Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Increased efficiency by automating repetitive tasks, reduce errors and compliance risks through standard procedures, enhance employee experience with easy access to HR services, data-driven decision-making, real-time, we already discussed, cost savings by reducing manual labor and external recruitment. Okay, so I brought some real-time examples from around the world, so we know what is happening around the world. So now you can see there is a group DHL, there is Workday, there is SAP SuccessFactors, and then we have Lenovo. I've actually brought these stats right in front of you so you know how much percentage of what is being done where. Like the last one is Lenovo saved 120 plus hours monthly by automating payroll process. So imagine once they automated and once they brought their system in digitalization, they were able to save 120 hours monthly just by automating their payroll because they are saving human effort. So we can see the benefit of having digitalization. And DHL reduced external recruitments by 10% using AI-powered internal mobility tools just by they basically reduced external recruitment by 10%. So that's a big number. Because when you're recruiting, you're incurring a lot of cost and you have to go through a lot of budget constraints and all that. Similarly, companies like Workday and SAP, so these are some real-time examples, and I have a few more. What DHL is doing is basically in DHL Group, it's implementing the AI-driven tools, enhancing similarly internal processes and allowing employees to see clearly what's happening. What is the outcome of all this? The outcome of all this is that this approach gave recruiters great visibility and they were able to reduce reliance on external hiring. As a result, DHL Group saw a drop of more than 10% in external recruitment, saving millions in costs. So internal reference and transfers and promotions within the company, so many more things were done because they were able to identify that the talent and the skill is lying within their organization. They don't have to go for external hiring. So that reduced their cost with 10%. So it's a big number. And then we have more example from Lenovo. I'll just run through the result of it because we don't have much time. Yeah. As a result, Lenovo achieved more than 90% time saving. And then we can see that they have saved over 120 hours per month and just how beneficial it can be when you're using HR automation. And I've also incorporated the links within the slide. When you will be getting the PDF, you will be able to access. You can actually look into these facts because when I'm doing my research, I'm not only just taking the text, I'm also looking into the numbers, and it's also important for us to be tangible. So we know these groups are actually benefiting from digitalization. And then I just got some report samples for you from Bamboo HR. You can see how many total employees this company is having and how many employees are in management, how many are in finance, how many are in publicizing, how many are in sales. And we know that there are 1,082 male and 1,567 female employees in their company. And then we know that how many people have retired, how many are full-time employees. All the stats and figures are just grabbed from your ERP system and it's just giving you an HR report. So this is how beneficial these systems are. And then there is this one that is telling us what are the hiring actions in certain years, then employment, promotions, transfers, demotions, expenditure, So with the color coding and all, this is a report from Bamboo HR. HR project plan. We know when we are running a project, for example, if you want to implement ERP, that is a whole project that you need to run. Then you need to make that project and be able to, assess, okay, what is my current status? What is that we have to do later? How many team members we have? What are our timeline? And which team member has what job? That can also be included in your project plan as a subheading. So these are all the categories you can see. And then we can see candidate recruitment is assigned to which category, and then the start end date. And then we can also see the status if it's complete, in progress, or overdue. So the color coding and everything can explain us very well about the project that we are running. So there are some challenges and consideration when we are doing HR digitalization, like we discussed, change management, getting to know people and making them, understanding them. It's not that easy. So the first one is resistance to change and need for employee training, skill gaps in HR, and the third one. So I would like to have someone read it for me. Moon Rahman, would you like to please read it for us?
Yes, why not?
Thank you.
Resistance to change and need for employee training. Employees and managers may be apprehensive about new technologies, requiring strong communication, involvement, and change management for foster acceptance. Skill gap in HR. HR professionals may lack digital skills or experience with new systems, making training and continuous learning essentials for successful adoption. Integration with existing systems. Connecting new digital tools and legacy HR and business systems can be complex and time consuming, often requiring customization and careful planning.
See, so there will be, thank you so much, Moon Rahman. There is problem with time constraint. It will be complex, and HR professionals may lack digital skills, which is going to be there. Even when I was jumping into this HR automation, it was not easy for me. I had to do a lot of research and digging into the system, asking questions from people. Sometimes you feel embarrassed that you're asking so many questions, but because you're learning something new, it's good to ask questions and it's good to know. And then employees and managers may they be apprehensive about new technologies. Like, we know it's not easy to accept the change, but because we need improvement, we have to go into that. So further challenges, I would like someone else to read it. Yes, Sana, would you like to read it for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Data privacy and security, protecting sensitive employee data and ensuring compliance with data protection laws like GDPR is critical, necessitating robust security measures and regular audits. Number two, resource and budget constraint. Digital transformation demands significant financial investment and dedicated personnel, which can be challenging to secure, especially if objectives are unclear or stakeholder buy-in is lacking. The General Data Protection Regulation, a comprehensive data privacy and security law enacted by the European Union that came into effect on May 25, 2018.
Thank you so much, Sana. So this is a law that was given by European Union in 2018, and so protecting sensitive employee data and ensuring compliance with data protection laws is critical. It's very important to keep things confidential and necessitating robust security measures and regular audits. We have seen movies, we have seen different situations where the system is breached and so many things are happening without any control. There are different, there is no doubt there are different softwares and tools which can break through it and things can happen, but the foremost responsibility lies with the company and the ERP team. They have to make sure that things should be confidential, and they should be ensured that they are given protection. Being in HR, we know that how important it is to understand the meaning of confidentiality. When I joined this field, I was actually asked to sign a confidentiality disclaimer where it was important for me to tell myself and agree that any information that I have being in an HR department, it should not go outside anywhere in my personal life or to someone. So non-disclosure and these kind of things are done. So it's definitely a challenge. Resource and budget constraint. We all know it's not possible to meet up the requirements for quite globally high level ERPs. So this is again a constraint. But if a company has to do it for the better good, he or she, the board of directors, they have to make a decision. So this can again be a big challenge. Supporting evidence and recommendation to challenges and consideration. I wanted to write a bit more about it, and I would like someone to read it for us again. Anybody likes to volunteer and please read out some supporting evidence? Okay. How about Afsana? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, it's not visible to me, ma'am, actually. Screen is not visible to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You can rejoin the meeting. Perhaps you might. Is everyone else able to see the slide? Okay. All right. Moon Rahman, if you're still there, would you like to read it for us?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you, Moon. Please go ahead.
According to Deloitte, nearly 70% of organizations struggle with change management during HR automation, with 70% of change initiatives failing due to employee disengagement. McKinsey report that investing in employee upskilling can increase automation adoption success rates by 50%. Forbes highlights that fear of losing control is a major reason employees resist change, and open communication plus training are key to overcoming this. Right? True.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just share my slide again. I was having trouble viewing it. So this is a very important point. We all need to understand. See, these are some key challenges, big key challenges. If you can see, Deloitte has actually, according to Deloitte, it's a very famous consulting company. They are basically having this problem, and they struggle. Nearly 70% of organizations struggle with change management. Just the way we discussed initially, like also Moon Rahman also shared that this is a challenge that has been faced. And the other one was McKinsey reports. So McKinsey reports that investing in employee upskilling can increase automation adoption success rate by 50%. So again, Forbes highlights that fear of losing control is a major reason employees resist change, and open communication plus training are key overcoming. Okay, so the problem is again with the change management, it's not that easy for employees and for the management to take this decision, and that's exactly why we are having this trouble. Like I'm having my trouble right now with my slides. Okay, are you able to see my screen now? I think you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Could you please give me a thumbs up?
Yes, we
Okay,
can see.
great. Yeah, great. Thank you. So I was just trying to explain you that these are some stats from the actual companies. It's not easy to accept the change, and they do face problems as well. We all do. So when we come to a change, we have to accept these things that there will be some challenges. Okay, so we have another Zoom breakout room. A quick one. Surasman, are you there?
Yes. So we are
Great.
going to have another breakup
Yes,
room.
we have a breakout room for around 5 minutes should be enough. We have two questions.
Yes.
I would like to share it. And then after the breakout room, we will be concluding our session. So let me quickly explain it to everyone. So we will have one more Zoom breakout, and there are two questions. You have to discuss it in your breakout room. The two key questions you can see on the right side. And the first one is how employees typically feel during automation change. If there's any change, how do you think employees will typically feel? What will be their feeling and cognitive thinking and all? And the question number two is how HR leaders should manage these feelings and support the change management. What is the job of a leader? How can they support? Just they are connected, and we already discussed a lot about it. I want to hear more from you. This time, if you want, you can share individually, or if you want, you can have a group leader. It's your choice. And we will give you 5 minutes to discuss, and we'll send this slide on WhatsApp as well. So Sir Mansoor can divide you in the
Sure.
group. Thank you.
Mm.
सना, हिरा, आप कुछ ऐड करना
यस।
चाहेंगे?
अच्छा, यार क्वेश्चन बताएं, एक मिनट।
जी जी।
बार बार मेरा लॉग आउट हो जा रहा था उससे, पता नहीं क्या मसला है।
नेटवर्क इशू होगा प्रोबेबली।
डोंट नो। अच्छा, क्या क्वेश्चन क्या है?
क्वेश्चन ये है हेरा कि चेंज मैनेजमेंट के अंदर एम्प्लॉय क्या फेस करता है। मतलब एक तो होता है जॉब फेयर, होता है कि यार हमारी नौकरी ना चली जाए, हम चेंज एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, इसमें हमारी परफॉर्मेंस एफिशिएंसी डाउन ना हो जाए। दिस लाइक ऑफ दिस, इस तरीके के क्या फेयर्स हो सकते हैं आपके ख्याल में?
फियर ऑफ कंफर्ट जोन, गेटिंग आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन। ये मतलब
बिल्कुल
बहुत
बिल्कुल।
मुश्किल होता है कि अपनी कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर आना। तो एक तो ये चीज भी होती है।
ट्रू।
और ये है कि उनको लगता है कि हमारी जॉब ना वो हो जाए। वो तो बात हो गई हमारी ऑलरेडी, आपने कहा कि जॉब की उसमें इनसिक्योरिटी
ट्रू।
फौरन क्रिएट हो जाती है।
हाँ जी बिल्कुल, कि
और
वो चीजें ऑटोमेट हो गई, अब मैनुअल।
चेंज मैनेजमेंट यानी उन्हीं की फीलिंग को कैसे करेंगे, मैनेज करेंगे।
और वो एम्प्लॉयज का इंटरेक्शन कैसे उस चेंज की तरफ मोटिवेट करेंगे मैनेजर।
हाँ, मोटिवेट कैसे करेंगे, उनको सपोर्ट कैसे करेंगे, एग्जैक्टली।
मोटिवेशन।
ऑब्वियसली मोटिवेशन।
मुझे लगता है जब हम
अल्टीमेटली जब हम
चेंज लेके आते हैं ना किसी भी कंपनी में, जब भी कोई चेंज लेके आते हैं ना, तो साथ हमें एम्प्लॉयज के लिए बेनिफिट्स भी इंट्रोड्यूस करवाने चाहिए। क्योंकि जब जब कोई भी चेंज आप लेके आते हो ना, अगर आप एम्प्लॉयज को साथ उसके बेनिफिट्स भी लाइक दे देते हो ना, लाइक अगर एक छोटी सेटअप था उसमें क्या नाम है, अप्रेजल्स नहीं थे या बोनसेस नहीं मिलते थे, लेकिन जब आपने ईआरपी या कोई भी चेंज आप लेके आए हो, तो आप साथ ये भी गुड न्यूज दे दो कि इस ईआरपी के आने की वजह से या ये जो भी हमने सॉफ्टवेयर इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया है, उससे हमें ये फायदा होगा कि हम बोनस दे सकेंगे एनुअली या सेमी एनुअली, वट एवर योर क्राइटेरिया। ठीक है, तो कुछ एम्प्लॉयज ना जब अपने रिलेटेड या अपने बेनिफिट्स सुनते हैं ना, तो वो थोड़ा सा मोटिवेट होने लग जाते हैं।
हाँ, एक मोटिवेशन का तरीका ये भी है, लेकिन इसमें ये भी हो सकता है कि देखें, अगर जो लोग हेजिटेट करें, जो जिनको फियर है कि हम ये नहीं कर सकते या हमें ये चीज सीखनी पड़ेगी अब नए सिरे से, तो उनको एक ये भी बेनिफिट दे सकते हैं ना कि आपको हम सिखाएंगे, हम आपको स्किल्ड करेंगे, क्योंकि
हाँ
उनको
जी,
तो ये चीज नहीं आती। हमने उनको
ऑब्वियसली।
ट्रेनिंग देनी है बेसिकली।
हाँ जी,
तो
हाँ
अगर
जी।
हम उनको ट्रेनिंग का बताएंगे तो दे विल बी हैप्पी
ओके।
एंड
तो
मोर मोटिवेटेड।
ठीक है, जब फिर वापस रिटर्न की आ गई है तो
हाँ, रिटर्न की आगे मेरे ख्याल से 5 मिनट्स का ही था
इसलिए
सेशन।
हम उनको टाइम सेविंग का भी बता सकते हैं कि आपका टाइम सेव होगा और इस तरह से
हाँ,
आपकी
टाइम
स्किल
सेविंग।
एडिशन होगी
बिल्कुल।
बाकी के
एग्जैक्टली।
स्किल पे। तो ये
हाँ।
आपका नंबर शो हो रहा है, आपका नेम क्या है?
नंबर में,
फसीहा।
हाँ, नंबर 1 का नाम क्या है? सॉरी।
मेरा नाम फसीहा।
अच्छा, फतेहा, ओके। फतेहा। तो हाउ कैन वी लीव नाउ? कैसे कैसे लीव?
All right, I think everyone is back, and I'm sure everyone had a very good discussion about the question that we had. I'm going to share my slide. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I will be sharing my slides with everyone, and here. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you can see my slides now. Okay, so we have a couple of more slides that to cover, but because we're running out of time, we'll spend 2-3 minutes discussing. We will go with room number 1 first of all, and quickly, could you please share what are the points that you were discussing in the breakout rooms?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please go ahead, Zanera. You can share the points that you discussed in the breakout room. Just you can listen. because we
मैम
don't.
फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन के लिए हमने ये डिस्कस किया कि ऑब्वियसली एक न्यू चेंज जब भी आता है किसी चीज में, किसी भी एम्प्लॉय को प्रॉब्लम होती है, एक तो फियर होता है उनको कोई भी चीज न्यू अडॉप्ट करने में, क्योंकि न्यू चेंजिंग हमेशा चेंज को अडॉप्ट करना मुश्किल होता है लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि वो ईज आउट हो चुके होते हैं अपने इन्वायरमेंट में। तो जब वो इजी होता है और दे हैव टू अडॉप्ट समथिंग, तो दे गॉट पैनिक, और समटाइम्स वो उस रिएक्ट भी उनका वो उसकी टुवर्ड्स रिएक्ट भी उनका नेगेटिव होता है। तो काम उनको काम करने के लिए एचआर लीडर, बीइंग एचआर लीडर या एचआर मैनेजर, हम लोग उनको सपोर्टिव रोल इस तरह दे सकते हैं कि एक तो उनको स्किल्ड करें, उन्हें सिर्फ ये बताएं, उन्हें पहले उसके पर्क्स का बताएं कि आपको
Mhm.
इससे क्या क्या फायदे होंगे, फिर उनको बताएं कि आपको स्किल्ड किया जाएगा, आपको ट्रेन किया जाएगा, यू आर नॉट अलोन हियर, वी आर एट योर बैक। और ये दूसरा हम उनको ये भी बताएंगे कि इसमें आपका ये भी फायदा होगा कि आपको इससे चीजें सीखने को मिलेंगी और आपका टाइम बचेगा, और इससे आपको फाइनेंशियली वट एवर या आपके जो सीवी में एडअप होंगी चीजें, ताकि उनको
Very
अपने जो
well.
पर्क्स
Very
नजर
well.
आएंगे तो दे विल फील
Exactly.
मतलब मोर रिलैक्स।
मैम इसमें मैं सिर्फ एक पॉइंट और ऐड करूंगी कि मुझे लगता है कि जब भी आप कंपनी में कोई चेंज लाते हैं ना, तो आप सब साथ बेनिफिट्स भी इंट्रोड्यूस करवाएं, ताकि एम्प्लॉयज़ को वो चेंज हैवी फील ना हो कि ये हम पे कोई बर्डन फील ना होने लग जाए। जब आप उनको उनके बेनिफिट्स बताएंगे, लाइक बोनस इंट्रोड्यूस करवाना, लाइक अप्रेजल, वट एवर यू कैन इंट्रोड्यूस द बेनिफिट्स टू एम्प्लॉयज़, आप फिर वो चेंज जो है ना उनको थोड़ा सा लाइट वो ले लेते हैं, वो फिर उसको अडॉप्ट कर लेते हैं कि ये हमारे बेनिफिट के लिए ही है।
Very well. I really like the way you put together all the points. मैंने इसको actually I gave a star to the point of benefit that Afifa mentioned earlier, a skill, benefit, and also tell them that you're not alone. So the point जब आपने कहा कि we will be telling them, or the managers have to tell them the benefit of that change and of anything. Yes, Sana, please, can you repeat?
सॉरी मैम, वो अनम्यूट हो गया था।
Okay, okay. So the points that are shared with just now a while ago, they are really, really connecting to the question, and that's very important that we need to make them comfortable and tell them, okay, you will be, adapting towards the change. So they are encouraged, and also the skill set, that their skill will be enhanced. This is a very important point because nowadays everybody wants to uplift themselves. Yes, room 2 group, could you please share your points real quick because we don't have much time now. Any leader or anybody can, you can share the points without a leader, it's fine.
Yes. चैलेंजेस
Yes.
की बात की जाए चेंज मैनेजमेंट में, तो इसमें पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव बहुत आ सकते हैं। आपकी कुछ परसेंट ऑडियंस बड़ी जो है एक्साइटेड होती है, क्यूरियस होती है कि उन्हें एग्जिस्टिंग टास्क में जो है कुछ रिलीफ मिल जाएगा थ्रू आउट, लाइक अगर कोई चेंज मैनेज या कोई हम प्रोसेस को ऑटोमेट करते हैं, तो कुछ पॉपुलेशन इस टाइप की होती है जो सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड होती है, सेल्फ ड्रिवन होती है, जो कि पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट कर रही होती है। एंड एज फार एज सम आर लाइक चेंज मैनेजमेंट की वजह से डरे हुए होते हैं कि जॉब ना चली जाए, कंफर्ट जोन से निकलना नहीं चाहते, या आप कह लें कि कोई एक आपका सीनियर एम्प्लॉय है जो कि एक मैनुअल प्रोसेस के ऊपर जिसकी ग्रिप है, तो उससे सबसे ज़्यादा डर होता है कि मेरी एफिशिएंसी डाउन ना हो जाए प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन की वजह से। तो दीज
Right.
आर फेयर्स जो कि हो सकते हैं। लीडर्स को क्या करना चाहिए, इसमें सबसे पहले है कम्युनिकेशन, कि एंड टू एंड प्रोसेस के बेनिफिट्स जरूर एम्प्लॉय को बताने चाहिए, ना कि सिर्फ ये बता दिया जाए आज से ये काम कर दिया है। तो जब तक उसे एंड रिजल्ट नहीं पता होगा, उस एफिशिएंसी की वजह से क्या गोल अचीव करना चाहते हैं, जब तक वो एम्प्लॉयज को नहीं पता होगा, तब तक वो चेंज मैनेजमेंट को अडॉप्ट नहीं कर सकते, उस चेंज को नहीं कर सकते। ऐसा मुझे लगता है। अच्छा, दूसरा, लीडरशिप की इन्वॉल्वमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है चेंज मैनेजमेंट में। जब तक
Mhm.
लीडरशिप खुद से इन्वॉल्व नहीं होगी, बकअप नहीं करेगी एम्प्लॉयज़ को, तो वो चेंज एक्सेप्ट करवाना, तो वो भी लीडरशिप की इन्वॉल्वमेंट भी अगेन एक फोर्सफुली भी हो सकती है, लाइक एक ऑर्डर्स वाले फॉर्म में भी हो सकता है, लोगों के रेजिस्टेंस ब्रेक करने के लिए कि नहीं, वी हैव टू गो, या यू हैव टू पिक दिस थिंग राइट नाउ, तो ये वाला चीज़। देन ट्रेनिंग एंड सपोर्ट है, जो कि हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं इसके ऊपर। एंड
Exactly.
देन उसके बाद अगर प्रोसेस ऑटोमेट हो जाता है तो उसकी प्रॉपर मॉनिटरिंग है, एंड देन उसके अंदर जो ग्रे एरियाज एंड सो ऑन उसको ऑटोमेट करने के ऊपर जो है वो वर्किंग की जा सकती है. एज पर माय कॉन्सेप्ट ये वाले पॉइंट्स हो सकते हैं.
Very well. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman, for your input. And I would say you put it all together quite well, because we've already discussed some of the points, so we are able to understand them better. But I like the point where you said about self-motivation, because some employees and some people are naturally self-motivated. Like many of you here who want to do CHRP, you might be self-motivated. Some of you might not be, but I think majority of you are, and that's why you want to upskill yourself. So if people who are not self-motivated, it's hard for them. So in order to bring them to that position, it is important for the managers to actually wear that shoe. And you कहते हैं ना कि charity begins at home. So you have to start yourself in order to cater the employees. And there's also a term used, trickle down effect. So if you have a hierarchy, a manager following or doing something, naturally the trickle down effect will come down, and the lower employee or employees who are coming in the mid management will be inclined to change and will be able to accept that change no matter how much effort and time it takes them. So thank you so much for everybody's input. With this, we do conclude our session today, but there were still a few slides I wanted to share more with you, which is fine. You'll be getting the PDF. You can look into that. But there's an assignment that I have prepared for all of you. So I just quickly want you to look into that. Your deadline to submit this assignment is August 19. It's not very hard. It's quite easy. And when you submit your assignment, you please make sure to write your full name and write underscore CHRP batch 14. So we are clear that this is your assignment. And what you have to do in this, that you have to, because I'm having some issues with my slide, I cannot read it properly, the steps. Moon Rahman, would you like to read it for us, the instructions?
Yes, please. Instructions: at home, review your current and hypothetical organization HR processes. Choose one HR task or process that you can could be improved and automated. For the task you reviewed briefly, work in the following way. That's slide one. What is the current manual process task? Draw a flowchart and showing the process. Slide 2 and 3. What challenges or inefficiencies exist? Specify in descriptive form. Slide 4. How could automation improve the process? Save time, reduce errors, enhance employee experience. You may show this by re-engineering the initial flowchart, or by the writing or a respective form of it.
Great. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman. So instructions are very clear. You just review your current or hypothetical. If you don't have any process in mind, just make a hypothetical process: payroll, attendance, leave, recruitment, anything. And then you have to choose one HR task from whatever you want to plan to do. For the task you review, you briefly work in the following way. Slide 1 should have, I don't want a lot of work for you. I just want you to think and use your thinking capacity. So step 1, what is the current manual process that is happening in your company, or hypothetically kya ho raha hai? You have to draw a flow chart and show it. In slide number 2 and 3, you have to write the challenges, the inefficiencies, the pain points, or anything that you think needs to be changed. In slide 4, how could you automate it? How can you automate it? Just give an example, and it can be maximum of 4 slides, not more than that. You have a time for 1 week, and I think you will enjoy doing that. And now I will quickly open for the questions. I know we don't have time, but if there's anything anybody wants to ask, please feel free to ask any questions. So you need to unlock the power of HR digitalization, and that's all from my side. I really enjoyed discussion with all of you. I think you're all very motivated, self-motivated. And just look into the picture that is placed on the slide now. It will give you a relaxing feeling that, okay, you have achieved something. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And for the ones who are not able to continue, please, you can feel free to leave the session. I know the time is up.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I want to ask.
From you.
Hira
Yes,
has raised her hand, and
Hira.
I think, yeah, and Zunera is also uh, having some question.
Yes, Hira, you can go first, please.
I just want to make a little request because we are residing over here in Karachi, and if you guys know the situation on the roads, we leave the office right 5:30, and it takes time around one hour plus 1:30, 1 hour and 30 minutes. to reach the home. So is it possible that we can start class like 7 p.m. onwards? Just a little request if possible. So
Sir Mansoor will tell.
ओके, वी डू हैव अ पोल इन द ग्रुप। फिर उसके बाद देखते हैं कि क्या सब लोग कैसे कहते हैं ना, तो हम 7 पे भी करवा सकते हैं, कोई इश्यू नहीं है। लेकिन बहरहाल सबका कंसेंट ले लेते हैं,
okay,
राइट, ग्रुप
okay,
में।
thank you, thank you.
थैंक यू।
Thank you, Era. Yes, Zanera, you have a question?
No, I don't have any question, but I really like to thank आपने बहुत अच्छा हमें गाइड किया है, बहुत अच्छा हमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो थी हमारे माइंड में अनक्लियर वो क्लियर भी हो गई हैं। थैंक यू
Okay.
सो मच।
You're most welcome. I'm so happy. I'm really happy to get a real-time feedback. And I really hope to look forward to all of you in any of the session again. Anyone else has any question, please feel free to ask.
मैम आई वांट टू आस्क समथिंग।
Mm-hmm.
मैम ये जो असाइनमेंट अभी आपने दी है, ये असाइनमेंट हमने ग्रुप में सबमिट करवानी है, लाइक जो हमारा CHRP का ग्रुप है, और बाय ईमेल?
Sir Mansoor will share that.
ग्रुप में आपके साथ एक ईमेल शेयर कर दिया जाएगा, और
ठीक
या
है,
एक व्हाट्सएप नंबर शेयर कर देंगे, उसमें आपने करवा देंगे, ठीक है।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है, थैंक यू सो
थैंक यू।
मच।
थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. Sir,
I would like to add something. Thank you so much, मैम। जो एकेडमिया में सब कुछ पढ़ा था वो सब कुछ रिकॉल हुआ सारी चीज़ों के अंदर जो मास्टर्स की डिग्री के अंदर था, so on so far. So it was such a wonderful session. Thank you so much. थैंक यू मंसूर साहब, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया,
थैंक यू वेरी
बहुत
मच।
अच्छा अलाइन हो रहा है। और लिटरली अब कुछ टर्मिनोलॉजीज मैम ऐसी सीखने को मिली जिसको मजीद एक्सप्लोर करने का दिल चाह रहा है। मैंने पूरी लिस्ट मेंटेन कर ली है जिसको मैं बैठ के विद वीकेंड पे जरूर इसको एक्सप्लोर करूंगा।
that's great. I'm so happy that it helped you. And right now, I'm just teaching, I'm just trying to facilitate on automation and digitalization. And today, I'm having a lot of trouble with my own system. So I'm trying to figure out the problems over here myself. But I'm happy that it went well and it didn't stop in the middle. Thank you so much, Moon Rahman,
थैंक यू
for
एवरीवन, थैंक यू सो
all
मच।
the efforts.
मैम एक चीज और मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, अगर हमने इसी टॉपिक को और जो है ना डेप्थ में जाके देखना हो, लाइक जो जितने भी हम जो है ना आगे सॉफ्टवेयर जो है ना वो टच कर रहे थे, अभी आपने जितने के बारे में भी एक्सप्लेन किया, तो हम इनको कहाँ पे जो है ना, मतलब कौन सा ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पे जाके हम इनके बारे में सर्च आउट कर सकते हैं मजीद जो है ना इन डेप्थ जानने के लिए, तो लाइक जो HR सॉफ्टवेयर है?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you can do is try to do your own research by just using internet. Different AI modules like Gemini, Perplexity, and ChatGPT are very good. Just write in that what are the ERPs used at the moment, and go in their websites and try to read about that. And there are so many YouTube tutorials. If you even look into the YouTube tutorials, you don't have to actually pay for any trainings. You can just learn the softwares. Like I have personally done that for different things. So in that way, at least you will have the idea कि कौन सी चीज किस तरह से run होती है, and which software has what loopholes and what are the limitations. At least you will be aware of that. And let's say down the road, if you get a chance of using that tool, you will be familiar with that. Did I answer your question well?
थैंक यू मैम।
Yeah, okay, great. So anything, Sir Mansoor, would you like to say something?
थैंक यू वेरी मच। सना ने जो पूछा था, अगर वो देखें, सर्च करें, मे भी कुछ ऐसे भी सॉफ्टवेयर हैं जो ARPs हैं, वो इनको ना वो देते हैं, ट्रायल भी देते हैं, कुछ देते हैं ट्रायल ना, अब उनसे नेगोशिएट करें, ठीक है।
Trial, right, right.
हाँ, ट्रायल आपको मिल जाएगा ना कुछ का, तो आपको दे भी सकते हैं, तो आप थोड़ा सा यूज भी कर लें। और जैसे ट्रेलो है, या इस तरह की और भी है जो हमने डिस्कस भी किए हैं इसमें, तो
Mm-hmm.
आपको ट्रायल मिल जाएगा, उसको चेक कर लें। नहीं तो फिर आपको फिर कोर्सेज भी मिल सकते हैं इसके, कोर्सेरा के ऊपर या यूडेमी के ऊपर जाके आपको अगर सैप सक्सेस फैक्टर है तो वो मिल सकता है, इसका पूरा का पूरा कंप्लीट कोर्स ना, जिसमें आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ सैप सक्सेस फैक्टर ही समझेंगे, अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे ना। तो इस तरह
Mm-hmm.
भी आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। कोर्सेरा पे बहरहाल अवेलेबल है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
Welcome.
थैंक यू वेरी
Is there
मच।
any? Yeah, you're most welcome. I think some of our participants have already left. So I think we're ready to go, and good
श्योर
luck
श्योर।
with all your other procedures. So thank you so much for
थैंक
everyone's
यू वेरी
time.
मच। थैंक यू जी, आपके साथ रिकॉर्डिंग शेयर कर देंगे, और उसके अलावा जो लर्निंग मटेरियल है वो भी शेयर कर दिया जाएगा। रिकॉर्डिंग आपके साथ कल शेयर करेंगे, लर्निंग मटेरियल अभी शेयर कर देते हैं, ठीक है। थैंक यू।
Thank you. Allah
थैंक
Hafiz.
यू वेरी मच।